Now to the latest political storms, with both campaigns in full damage control. Donald Trump's lewd talk about women is sending shockwaves through the Republican Party. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton is dealing with the revelation of what she told bankers in those big money speeches. And we're just hours from the second presidential debate tonight in St. Louis. In a moment, we'll speak with John Podesta, Clinton's campaign chairman. But first, live from Trump Tower, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, a top advisor to the campaign. Mayor, let's start with the tape of Trump talking to Access Hollywood's Billy Bush back in 2005. He brags about hitting on a married woman, and then he says this.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the do anything.
Mayor Giuliani, we had booked Kellyanne Conway, the campaign manager, for this morning, but late last night, the campaign pulled her and said that you were going to be our guest. We're always happy to have you, but I got to ask you, was Kellyanne Conway unwilling to defend Trump's remarks about women?
Well, I don't think anyone is going to defend his remarks. Is Kellyanne still a very strong supporter of Donald Trump, and does she believe he'd make a better president than Hillary Clinton? Absolutely yes. So I think this is a question of scheduling and not being willing to explain. Now, I'm not here to defend his comments. If he were here, he wouldn't be defending his comments. His comments were wrong. They were very wrong and reprehensible, and he has said that, and he's apologized for it. And I think what you're looking at is a man who's gone through 14 months of running for president, understands the weight on his shoulder of all of these people who voted for him, who believe in him, who believe he's really has a movement to try to change this country, to have outsiders kind of take it back from the insiders who have been running it and in many cases ruining it for quite some time. So I think the point that we'd make is he has apologized for this, and we believe if you get to the issues, he's the candidate that is much better suited to run the country than Hillary Clinton, who has her own set of flaws.
We're going to get to those in a moment, but I want to stay on Donald Trump. Around midnight on Friday, Trump put out a statement apologizing for his comments. Here's a clip of that.
I've said and done things I regret, and the words released today on this more than a decade-old video are one of them. Anyone who knows me knows these words don't reflect who I am. I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize.
Trump says the words don't reflect who I am, but Mayor, there's a long history of Trump making aggressive moves on women. He's been sued for sexual harassment, and there are decades of insults of women. Don't these words reflect exactly who he is?
No, they don't. I know Donald Trump for almost 30 years. Doesn't reflect the man that I know. I've had many conversations with him, and I had a conversation like that with him. I know a man who's been a wonderful father, who's brought up remarkable children, including 2 wonderful daughters and 3 granddaughters. And he's always dealt, in my time with him, he's always dealt with women with great respect, and he's been a gentleman. So are there things that he's done wrong during that period of time, or things that he said wrong that he wishes he didn't? I'm sure there are. But the reality is he also has gone through something that is transformational in a person's life, a presidential campaign. He's gone through 14 months of being out there, hearing what people are worried about and afraid of losing their jobs, having lost their jobs, jobs being moved from Ohio to Mexico, or from Michigan to Mexico, or from Pennsylvania to China. People who were worried that they're going to be completely out of work, like the coal miners that Hillary Clinton said are all going to be fired and all going to be gone. So these things weigh on you as a person. I went through it. And they make you a lot more serious, and they literally make you into a different kind of person. I think September 11 and running for president made me into a different kind of person.
I don't mean to interrupt. I want to get to a couple of other issues, though, and I know you want to talk about the hacked emails. One more question about Trump, though, because there has been a storm of criticism inside the GOP against Trump, and some people are now calling for him to drop out. Let's put up some of the reaction. Dozens of people of GOP leaders have abandoned him. House Speaker Paul Ryan said, "I am sickened by what I heard today." Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, "These comments are repugnant and unacceptable in any circumstance." Congressman Jason Chaffetz, "I'm out. I'm pulling my endorsement." And Congresswoman Martha Roby, "The best thing for our country and our party is for Trump to step aside." Now, I know you say, well, that's the elite or that's the establishment. There are a lot of people who were Trump supporters and have had enough. And I guess my question is, if the GOP, if leaders were to come to Donald Trump this week and say, for the good of the party, to save the GOP majorities in the House and the Senate, you've got to step down, what will he do?
Donald Trump is running for president. He was selected, and many of those people are good friends of mine. In fact, I think they all are. And their opinion is given a great deal of weight and consideration. He has. But he was selected by, millions and millions of Republicans who still very much believe in him, who I think are more willing to forgive maybe than some others, and more willing to realize that this is a different man today than the man that was reflected in those comments. This is a man who has a very heavy weight on his shoulders of having to determine the future of the Supreme Court, having to deal with the rise in crime that last year was the largest number of murders that increase in the last 41 years. So that's what I would say. I would say he would listen to them, but I believe he's going to remain in the race. And in fact, I know he is.
Finally, let's turn to the hacked emails of John Podesta, which indicate that Hillary Clinton was saying something very different from what she said on the campaign trail when she was talking in those big money closed-door speeches to Wall Street bankers. She says her dream is open trade and open borders across the Western Hemisphere. She says the people on Wall Street know best how to regulate Wall Street. And she says she is far removed from the struggles of the middle class because of the fortunes that my husband and I now enjoy. Your reaction?
Well, I mean, and she also pointed out, I think, in one of them that she's a different person to them than she is than she has to be different politically. So we have two Hillary Clintons, which says we have a person who's a liar, because that's what she is. I mean, over and over again. I mean, I can go through her 302s, and Martha Stewart was prosecuted for one lie. I could have prosecuted her for 10 in her 302s, like she didn't know that C meant confidential. Come on, Hillary. You can put that one over on somebody, but not me. So we've got two candidates that have flaws. Now let's get to the issues. Who are going to be better on the issues? And I do think one of the really horrible things about that is, had those come out, Bernie Sanders would be the candidate now that we'd be running against, not her, because she fought so hard to keep those secret. We now know why. Because if she had run the way she ran on those tapes, for all those bankers, for all that, I mean, she got paid millions of dollars for saying that stuff. This is stuff she got paid for. She would not be the candidate.
Mayor Giuliani, we're going to have to cut it short. We thank you. Thanks for your time today, sir.
Thank you.